Have you ever promised yourself that today would be different? Today, you would finally start that project. Study for the exam, go to the gym, reply to that important email. This time, you meant it. But somehow, an hour later, you found yourself watching videos, scrolling through your phone, organizing your desk, or doing almost anything except the one thing you had planned. And then comes the familiar feeling: guilt, frustration, the quiet question that almost everyone asks at some point. Why do I keep doing this? Most people believe procrastination is a sign of laziness, a lack of discipline, a character flaw. But modern psychology tells a very different story. Procrastination isn't usually about being lazy. It's about how your brain tries to protect you. To understand why, we have to go back thousands of years. Long before schools, deadlines, emails, and calendars existed, our ancestors lived in a world where every decision had a direct impact on survival. Food wasn't guaranteed. Shelter wasn't guaranteed. Even making it through the week wasn't guaranteed. In that environment, the brain evolved with one primary objective: conserve energy whenever possible. Every unnecessary effort could reduce the chances of survival. So the brain became incredibly efficient at asking one simple question: do I really need to spend energy on this right now? Back then, that strategy made perfect sense. Today, not so much. Because modern life asks us to spend enormous amounts of mental energy on things that offer no immediate reward. Studying, saving money, learning a language, exercising, building a career. The rewards may come months, or even years later, but your brain still prefers something that feels good now. This is where one of the brain's most powerful systems enters the story: the reward system. Every time you check your phone, watch another short video, refresh social media, or open another notification, your brain releases small amounts of dopamine. Contrary to popular belief, dopamine isn't the chemical of pleasure. It's the chemical of anticipation. It motivates you to chase what seems rewarding. And modern technology is incredibly good at triggering that system. Every swipe promises something new: a funny video, a message, a surprise. Your brain loves uncertainty because uncertainty often means potential reward. Now compare that with writing a report. Reading 50 pages, cleaning the house, the reward feels distant, predictable, slow, so your brain naturally pulls your attention toward the option that offers immediate gratification. But there's another layer that most people never notice. Procrastination is deeply emotional. Imagine you're about to begin something important. Maybe it's a presentation, an exam, launching your own business. You don't just feel the task itself, you also feel everything attached to it. What if I fail? What if I'm not good enough? What if people judge me? Those emotions become uncomfortable, and your brain has a simple solution: avoid the source of discomfort. For a few minutes, it feels like relief. But that relief comes at a price. The task doesn't disappear. It waits, growing larger inside your mind. And as time passes, the pressure increases. Eventually, the task feels so overwhelming that even opening the document seems difficult. That's why procrastination often creates a painful cycle: avoid, temporary relief, growing anxiety, even more avoidance. The surprising part is that people who procrastinate the most often care the most about the outcome. Perfectionism plays a huge role. If your brain believes something has to be perfect, starting becomes terrifying. Because once you begin, your work can be judged. As long as you don't start, your potential remains untouched. It feels safer, but only temporarily. Fortunately, neuroscience offers some encouraging news. Your brain changes once you begin. Researchers have discovered that the hardest part of almost any task is the transition between thinking and doing. Before you start, your brain imagines effort, uncertainty, difficulty, but after just a few minutes of action, something remarkable happens. The resistance begins to fade. Attention shifts. Momentum takes over. Psychologists sometimes call this the activation energy of behavior. Just like pushing a heavy object, the first movement requires the greatest effort. After that, keeping it moving becomes much easier. That's why one of the most effective productivity strategies sounds almost too simple. Don't promise yourself you'll finish. Promise yourself you'll begin. Write one sentence. Read one page. Exercise for 5 minutes. Open the document. That's all. Because action creates motivation far more often than motivation creates action. Most people wait until they feel ready, but your brain rarely works that way. The feeling usually comes after you've already started. Every small action teaches your brain something important. This wasn't as difficult as I expected. Over time, those tiny victories reshape your habits. Your confidence grows, not because you became a different person, but because your brain learned that action is safer than avoidance. So the next time you catch yourself saying, I'll do it later, pause for a moment. Ask yourself one simple question. What's the smallest action I can take right now? Not tomorrow, not next Monday, not when you finally feel motivated, right now. Because your future isn't built by giant moments of inspiration, it's built by tiny decisions repeated every single day, and sometimes the smallest step is the one that changes everything. I'm Finn, and this is Mind Origins. If you enjoyed discovering the hidden psychology behind everyday behavior, make sure to subscribe and join me for the next episode, where we'll explore why your brain never lets you forget your most embarrassing moments.